Hey guys, I'm Mo Tieber. This is,
Nightcap with Nancy.
and you are currently in my super dirty, cluttered basement. This is our new channel. This is the Resistance Homestead channel, and we are getting ready to plant some trees. You heard that right,
Trees.
trees. Okay, so for those of you guys that don't know, which I guess is pretty much everybody at this point, Nancy and I purchased 8.5 acres in Missouri, and we are going to be moving there. But it is raw, unrestricted land at this point. It's just a bunch of trees that haven't been harvested in like 40 years. There is a cut through with a power line easement, but it's just a regular pole system. It's not high tension, so we're not going to be getting growing a third arm or anything like that. And it makes it easier to connect to power. There is not a well on the property, so water is going to be an issue, and that's going to be one of the first things that we resolve when we actually get out there. Our plan is to go out there a couple of times this year, clear out some trees, make some areas that we can grow food and have livestock. We have a beehive currently. We have chickens currently. We just got 4 chicks. They were unsexed when we got them, and one of them's a rooster, which is really good news, but at the same time, it's kind of bad news because we live on a postage size, lot right in the downtown area where we live, and yeah, our neighbors aren't going to be really happy about us having a rooster. So we also have a friend that breeds Nigerian goats, and excuse me, I got the kung flu. Um, Kidding. But she breeds Nigerian goats, and she's going to give us a buck and a doe for a really good price. And her goats are purebred, so they have two. I want to say litters, but I know that's not what they're called. But they have 2 breeding seasons a year, and they can have anywhere from 2 to 4 kids per litter, which can sell from anywhere from $200 to $500, depending. So that's going to be a source of income for us. Eggs. And today we got a shipment of fruit trees. So I ordered a couple of apple trees, a couple of pear trees, a plum tree, a what was the other one? Elderberry bush, a raspberry bush, a blackberry bush, and a blueberry bush. So today we are going to be planting them in containers. We're going to be setting up drainage in the bottom of the containers with some pea stone gravel. And then I'm going to make a topsoil and compost mixture. And also, I've got some old soil that has a high content peat moss in it. It's basically potting soil and peat moss. So I'm going to make a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 mixture of that. And we're going to pot our trees in these containers, and then we are going to grow them in our driveway here, because one of our biggest problems here, we've tried to garden a few times, we don't get any sunlight. The only place on our property that gets sunlight is the driveway on the side of our house. So we are going to have our trees in containers out there throughout the year, and then hopefully come fall, when they go dormant again, we'll plant them in Missouri. And the reason for that is because, any of you that have thought about homesteading or followed homestead channels or anything like that, your orchard, your fruit trees and your fruit bearing plants, perennials, are the first things that you want to get going. And the reason for that is because it takes years before you start getting fruit off of them. There's a lot of things that we have to take into consideration when we plant them. Watering, how are they going to get watered when we're not there? Thankfully, like I said, we're going to plant them when they go dormant in the fall, when it starts getting cold. So watering's not really going to be an issue. However, deer will be an issue. So when we plant them, we're going to have to put up, pest prevention for deer and raccoons and other animals that will actually eat the fruit trees. Because in case you guys didn't know this, fruit trees aren't cheap. they're not. I think together this bundle here was like $250 for the trees that I got. And then I have 2 cherry trees on order that are on their way. They'll be here later this month. The reason I got 2 apple, 2 cherry, and 2 pear is because they are not self-pollinating. You have to have a pollinator for them in order to bear fruit. And of course, I got different species that were compatible, so they would pollinate each other. I can't remember the exact. Well, we'll go through that in a minute when I open them up, and I'll tell you the exact cultivars or breed or species or how, whatever the technical term is. So yeah, me and Nancy are we're gonna go out and homestead. We're gonna use the resources available to us on our property. We're gonna use reclaimed lumber and materials. We've got a bunch of it. You can't really see in the shop, but I'll take some video of it. But we got a bunch of lumber over here, a bunch of lumber over here. We got a bunch of stuff in our garage, old windows, doors. So we're gonna use the resources available to us, reclaim stuff, repurpose stuff, and we're gonna build a homestead. Right now, like I said, we're in the city, but this is our journey to getting there. We're both working full-time plus more jobs in order to finance what we're doing. So when the time comes, hopefully we'll be able to sell the house that we're in for some kind of profit. We do at this point. We have some equity in the house, unlike my other channel where I discuss other issues, this one I'm going to stay away from just because of the algorithms and stuff. It'd be nice to have viewers and, actually not get banned on, the channel. So I'm going to stay away from touchy subjects on this channel. But, I'm trying to be hopeful that, the economy will hold out long enough that we can, get some profit out of this house, sell it, and then have a cushion when we move to Missouri. The place that we bought property is about 15 minutes outside of a medium-sized town. That it's got a decent, population. It's got an economic base out there. So, I don't make any bones about going and being completely self-sufficient and being able to support ourselves and, our bills and all that stuff. We have a truck payment. We're going to have, other bills. We're currently doing everything we can to pay down all of our debt, so we don't have credit card debt. One of my cats is back there knocking stuff off. That's another thing. We're going to have to lock the basement from the cats because they'll get into the trees and they'll be down here probably for a couple of weeks at least until the weather up here stabilizes and has a warm enough temperature. We're still getting, snow here and there and really cold spells. So, so that's the plan. And I hope you guys enjoy this video, planting some trees in containers on a temporary basis until they can get planted in our new homestead. So thanks for watching. Just to run through real quick, as you guys can see, I've got my topsoil and compost manure mixtures not stacked on top of each other, laying out single file on the floor. That's because they were in my truck bed and they are cold, and I don't want to shock the trees too much by planting them in nearly frozen soil. So I'm going to let these warm up for a couple of hours before I, open the boxes and go to planting. You can see here that I've just got some pea stone type rock. I think they're called river pebbles is what I've got. And then I've got, that's just another bag of potting soil. But then I've got just a small rake and a shovel. And I've got the actual trees. And then I have some weed carpet or weed cloth or fabric or whatever, weed control film. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a layer of the pea stone down and then cover it with the weed control barrier before I put the soil in. That way when it gets watered, you've actually got drainage. I also have... we got some strawberries because those are perennials and we're going to get those started this year too. Those actually I don't think we're going to be planting today, but and then we got some garlic as well. That's another perennial. And then I know you guys heard me mention that I got blueberries, and acidic soil is essential for blueberries. So we got some soil acidifier. A couple of these trees actually need an acidic pH as well. So we're not going to amend the soil when we initially plant them, but that's sulfur, and that'll be useful for the blueberry beds and, you know, for adjusting soil when the time comes. And then for pots, we went the cheap route. I think these were, I don't know, $10 a piece or something. They're 5 gallon. They've already got drainage holes in them, as you can see, but they'll do fine for what we're doing. So those are the resources that we're using. And yes, there was some expense involved, but you know, we want to get started and have them going, and you know, hopefully they'll form a good root ball in that container, so when we take them out there, they'll be able to more easily adjust to the soil out there. And then, as you can see over there, some of those buckets are actually filled with old topsoil from some other gardening projects that we had done. And we're going to use that in the mixture as well, because like I said, that's got a high peat moss content. So there's some organic material, and it'll help make the soil a little bit more porous and loamy. So yeah, those are the resources that we're using to start. And here in a couple of hours, when that soil is warmed up, we will actually unbox the trees and get started. Okay guys, so it's been a couple of hours. I've given my soil time to come up to temperature a little bit. That way it's not frozen and I'm not shocking my roots when I plant them. Like I said, I'm using a wheelbarrow, just a shovel and a garden rake to mix it. I'm going to do a 1/3 ratio of each, the compost, the topsoil, and then the old soil with the peat moss. Yeah, so I'm going to put this on time lapse, and you guys can watch me set up my pots, you know, in fast motion or whatever, and then we'll cut back to actually opening up the trees and taking a look at what I was sent. All right. Okay guys, so I'm going to pause for a minute. You can see Mama Kitty's up there. Yeah, we got to run her out of the basement. Normally the cats live in the basement, but we're going to lock it up until we can get the trees outside. Like I said, Michigan's still going through some wintry weather, and I don't want to kill my trees. But one thing I noticed, here, let me turn this around. So one thing I did notice that I should have done, and I will be doing it for the next batch. See, basement floor, easy to sweep, no problem. But the holes on the bottom of the bucket are large enough that my pea stone is getting out. So on the next batch, I'm going to go ahead and put a layer of the cloth down before the rocks and after the rocks. So that way that'll prevent, you know, the rocks from getting out of the next batch. So, all right, back to work. Intermission. Nancy made spaghetti. There's noodles over here, and I'm taking a break to eat dinner, so I'll be back in a minute. Peace. Okay guys, so as you can see, I got my pots ready to go. I did a little bit of sweeping, cleaning up a little bit, ate dinner and all that stuff. Now if you notice, some of these I'm going to have to put a little bit more in. you want them fairly full, because when you plant your tree, you don't want to plant your tree deeper than it was originally planted. There should be a mark on these. I don't know how they package from this particular company. These came from a place called Tai Nursery. So we're going to take a look and see how they packed them and what they look like. I believe they use a gel for the roots. I could be wrong. Let me see if I'm... No, probably want to cut this one. There. And there. There we go. That's probably the way to do that. And we'll cut these. And now it should open. Well, they did a good job packing it. Alright, so here's one of our trees. Yep. And as you can see, there's a root ball on it. Not sure what they packed the root ball with. And I'm not the greatest at identifying trees, so there's no packing slip or instructions in here.
Packing slip is on the box.
Uh-huh.
Packing slip is on the box.
Is where?
On the box.
Oh, it is? Let me pull some of this off. They definitely wrapped it. Wrapped it up good, that's for sure. I don't want to cut this because I don't want to damage the roots. So we're just going to unwrap it. Be careful. Oh, okay, so yeah, it's wet. And there's tape, packing tape. They definitely bundled it up good, didn't they? So they've got some kind of gel wrap or something on here. I'm not really sure what they put on here. But we're gonna, do this. Again, I don't want to cut them just because. Last thing I want to do is damage my tree or my roots. So we're going to take the long way. It's the long way home.
They just don't want you to get it open.
Yeah, apparently. They're protecting it from me, I guess. So, alright, we're almost there. Oh, there we go. Alright, so yeah, so... Yep, there's a gel in here that they use to wrap the roots. I thought that the website said that that's how they did it. And then, so this is a blackberry. So I'm sorry my plant identification isn't the greatest, but that's a blackberry. And I've got multiple trees here. They got them tied together, which I wish they probably. So, not sure what that is. I think that's a transplant. There's no, oh, is there? Yep, transplant mix. So, what we have is, this is a blackberry plant here. I'm gonna put that there. This is my raspberry plant here. Put that there. And this is my blueberry. So I'm gonna put my blueberry over here as well. And I'm gonna amend the soil a bit when I plant my blueberry. I'm gonna put a little bit of sulfur in there to make the soil more acidic. So then we're gonna open this one. Now that I got a mess going on. Don't worry, this isn't the first time we've gardened in our basement, so we've been here before. So those are my bushes, and these must be my trees. So I should have, I believe, 5 in this box, if I'm correct. Yep. It looks like. Let me go this way. Okay. So I'm looking, I do see there's a couple of spots where it's budding a little bit on this one. I don't see any buds on the other ones. So here's my grapevine, my plum tree, my elderberry bush, my gala apple tree, my kefir pear tree, and my Ayers pear tree. So I should have another apple tree. And oh, is there another label on here? I don't know. Let me open it up and we'll see. There should be 2 apple trees, I thought. Because you need to cross-pollinate the trees, so. I'll tell you what, I do like the way they packaged everything. I'm not sure what I think of that gel, but it does a good job keeping the roots moist. They are definitely, moist enough for transport. So versus buying a bare root tree that has no roots at all. Now, let's see if I can find the opening of the packing tape. I might be forced to just cut this one, which I don't really want to do. But now that I know how it's packed, I'm going to go ahead and just cut it. Save everybody some time, myself included. Lovely gel out of here. There's my other tag. Oh, maybe not. Grape, pear, elderberry, pear, sugar pear, plum. I guess I did only get 1 apple. I thought I got 2. I'm going to have to check the packing slip. We're going to put that one, we'll put over here. Just going to lay them out for now. There. Oh, there it is. Arkansas black apple tree. I knew there was another apple tree in there. Those grow very well in Missouri, I do believe. And then the gala apple tree. Put that one over there. Here is my elderberry bush. Gonna need that for medicinal purposes. My grapevine and my plum tree. So I'm gonna lay them all out. And toss these boxes off to the side for now. I'll bring my soil back over here. So I'm going to want to fill these up just a little bit more. We're going to want to have it fairly full because our roots are going to go down. And again, we don't want to plant them deeper than they already were. So we're going to want to pack the bottom down here. Not a lot, but enough. And then you make a mound in the middle. Okay? So you mound up the center, and then your root, this one's got a Oh, this looks like it was grafted, so I'm going to go ahead and put this one down just to see. Right about here is where we're going to want to fill it to, because we don't want to go much past where the roots are. So pack that there. I'm going to lose it. Just get enough in there to hold her steady. Maybe. And then we put just enough to bury the roots. And then we're going to water it in really well. So, pack it down, maybe just a little bit more around the outside. And that's it. That's how you plant the tree. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this for a minute. I'm going to mix up some more soil. I'm going to need some more for these other buckets. I'm going to need, spare you guys watching that. And then I'll come back one more time and show you it all finished up. All right? All right. So it's been a really long night. But as you can see, the Resistance Homestead orchard is ready to go. The blueberry plant has leaves on it, so we're gonna have to leave the light on down here in the morning and then shut it off when we get home from work. Probably should be only about another week or so, looking at the weather, and we should be able to move them outside into the driveway. There's a couple of buds on some of the other trees, but not too many, so light's not really an issue. I don't know, hopefully you found this video interesting and helpful, and wish us luck. That's going to be our fruit when we're living on our land. So, we got to be able to eat, right? Oh yeah, that's the garlic and the strawberries right there too. So the strawberries are sprouted. They got a few green shoots. The garlic's just bulbs, but yeah, that's going to be our fruit orchard. Plus the 2 cherry trees we got coming. Well, those are still on the way, but, maybe a few months, later on this year, we'll be doing an update video, and you'll be seeing us put these in the ground out in Missouri instead of in a pot in the basement in Michigan. So, Mo Tabor.
Nightcap and Nancy.
And this is the Resistance Homestead. So hey guys, just an update to my tree video. As you can see, one of my cherry trees came in. This came from a company called fastgrowingtrees.com. You can also see it's a little bit bigger than the other ones I planted. I also have 2 bare root cherry trees that are coming in the next couple of days. So I'm on my way to Menards to get some more pots and soil because I'm a little short. And then I'm going to spare you guys the planting of these ones because you've already seen all that. But I just wanted you to see that it did come in, and we will be getting it planted. Still keeping it in the basement because my kitties, I don't want my kitty. I can't point right there. He is. My kitties, I got 3 of them. And I got to keep them out of the basement so they don't get in the trees until it's warm enough to move them out to the driveway where they have full sun. Should be able to do that sometime this week. It looks like the weather's gonna cooperate with us on that. So yeah, just wanted to give you guys an update, and then the last part I film will be them actually out in the driveway in the pots, hopefully getting started and budding out, and then I'll give you guys an update later on, but I'll post the video after I get them outside. All right. God bless you. Bye.